Hello everybody, and I want to welcome everyone to this episode of the Booze Geek. Once again, my name is Chuck. I am your host. So this episode, this is actually part 3 of our new Holland Brewing, which is located in Holland, Michigan. Our new Holland Brewing Dragon's Milk portfolio tasting event. So on the first episode of this series, we tasted and reviewed the original Dragon's Milk. On the last episode, we tasted and reviewed the first offshoot, which was the Dragon's Milk White. So on this episode, we are going to be tasting and reviewing the first of 2 limited release reserve versions of the Dragon's Milk. So the one we're going to be doing today, this is the 2020 release number 1. This was the Dragon's Milk Rum Barrel-Aged, as opposed to Bourbon Barrel-Aged. This is the Rum Barrel-Aged version with toasted coconut and hazelnut. And, you know, this is going to be a little bit different here. So this was aged for 3 months in rum barrels. The ABV on this one is slightly higher than the original, where that was 11%. This one is 12.5%, but the IBU is relatively the same at 30. So let's keep the fun going. Let's keep the party hopping, and let's pop the top on this bad boy. And here we go. The rum barrel version. Ooh, well, so far, a little bit of smoke on this one. This has had the most smoke of the first 2. Well, I should say the first 3. Let's give this a nice pour. Still smoking as I'm pouring. Still smoking? Can a bottle smoke? I don't know. There we go. Ooh, I'm already getting some of the aromas here. Woo, from this distance. Color profile. Well, it's very similar to the original one. Not jet black, but it is a very, very, very dark beer. And a little bit more carbonation than the original. This has an almost 2-finger veil of off-white, borderline khaki. But let's give this one a swirl, and we'll give this a nose. Woo! Way more potent on the aromas already than the first 2. Yeah, much more potent. But they're different. Once again, they're different but similar. So, on the nose, we're getting some bitter chocolate, some of that hazelnut, but predominantly out of the first 3, the aroma for the little boozy alcohol aroma is the highest. It's the most on this one than it was for the previous 2. And to round it out, there's a little toffee sweetness I'm getting. But let's give this one more swirl, and we will give this a sip. So, out of the first 3, this one definitely has the creamiest mouthfeel. This one's definitely full-bodied. This is the richest and the thickest of the 3. But the flavors, some are the same, but the majority of the flavors on this one are quite different. Hence, that's going to have to do with the rum barrel aged as opposed to the bourbon barrel. So, we are getting some slight vanilla. And a little bit of that hazelnut is coming through, but not that much. I'm actually quite surprised of how little the hazelnut I am tasting. Now, the toasted coconut, on the other hand, that's coming through fairly well, but that's actually not hitting me to the very, very end of my swallow, like back at the end of the end of the profile here. And then the whole thing is kind of rounded out by a molasses sweetness, but the booziness on this one is definitely taken up a notch. The boozy alcoholic aftertaste, I'm definitely getting the most out of this version right here. This is way more than, well, obviously way more than this one, because this is, you know, double the ABV percentage. This was 6, this one's 12.5, but even so, it's more than the 11%. Let me give this one more taste here. Yeah, the ABV is skyrocketed on this one. You know, out of the 3 though, I think this one's got some balance issues. I think this is between the first 3. Like I said, the ABV is through the roof. I was hoping for more of that hazelnut. The toasted coconut is right there, but it's on the back end. But the molasses sweetness is nice. But on the pint-o-meter, I'm going to give this one only a 7. Because like I said, I think this one does have balance issues that need to be fixed. But it's still not a bad beer by any means. I do like it. It's not as solid as the first two. So I'm going to stick with the 7 on this version. And on the next episode, we are going to taste another limited reserve. But that'll be a Scotch barrel aged. So on that token, if you missed the first 2 episodes, I encourage everyone to go back and watch those and see where all this fun started. But on that token, I want to thank everyone for tuning in. As always, you can follow me at the website, which is www.pubstohaveapintin.com, or at the blog, which is www.pubstohaveapintin.blogspot.com. If you like the episode, please give us a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button and leave a comment down below if you feel so inclined. But we will see you on the next episode. And as always, raise a pint, cheers, prost, and enjoy.